How's it going, everybody? Welcome to 1-2 Kaiju. This will be an unboxing video of the 2016 Shin Godzilla X Plus Daikaiju line. That's a 25 centimeter line figure. This is the Shonen Rick or Rick Boy version, so it will have a swappable head. For those unaware, Daikaiju means large monster. That's the series. And it is not the largest. Their biggest series for X Plus would be the Gigantic series, which gets significantly larger. The 25 centimeter Daikaiju line is roughly around 9 to 10 inches. So that's kind of what you're working with. It's still a pretty sizable figure compared to most others. Bigger than a Super 7 Ultimates, certainly bigger than the movie Monster line, but smaller than the 30 centimeter line, and certainly smaller than the Gigantic line. This particular figure has one of the tie downs that are annoyingly difficult to get off for some reason. Some X Plus figures, even the Daikaiju like 25 or the Gigantic, don't always have these tie downs, but this one has quite a few of them, and the way the plastic's made, it can be a little bit hard to get off, so bear with me. If you're unfamiliar, though the box is no longer on the screen, to know if it's a Rick Boy version, it has a yellow sticker that will be on the front of the box somewhere. On this one, it's on the top right corner, which is usually where it's located for most. After a little bit of wrestling, we got the head free. This is the swappable head, which is Godzilla when they're about to do the atomic blast or roaring, however you want to signify it. And again, as I continue to try to give you random facts while I struggle with these tie downs, the Rick Boy version, again, if you're unfamiliar, usually means that you get special paint, maybe a light up gimmick, or in this case, swappable heads. And here we have the tail out. The tail is pretty sizable on Shin, which checks out because in the film, Shin's design, the tail is probably the largest proportion tail for any Godzilla. As far as length goes, it's probably longer than his body is tall, so somewhat unique in that particular area. Now for the main body, as you can see, there is 3 pieces in this particular one. So you have the main body, the tail, which you will have to attach, and then you have the detachable head that's part of the Rick Boy version. The tail attaches with a few different methods. You've got to heat the entrance, the hole that it goes into on the body up. And there's a few ways you can do that. I prefer the blow dryer method or the hair dryer method, and that's what we will do here shortly. Though the packaging can be sort of frustrating, I like the way X Plus makes sure everything is secure, not only using multiple tie downs, but even wrapping their feet in plastic, at least for this particular figure. And they obviously put everything in a box. I imported this myself from Japan, and so it's had quite the shipping trip and 0 issues. And that goes for pretty much any X Plus figure I have ever had. It doesn't ever really appear to suffer any shipping issues, as they do a really good job with packaging and security. Just admiring the sculpt here a little bit before I decide to get everything attached. Still trying to kind of decide on what head I want to use. The other one is certainly more impressive, but I do have a lot of Godzillas in that roar pose, including a Shin that I'll do an unboxing video for you guys coming up. It's not an X Plus, but it is still a Shin. So I might keep this standard head. Speaking of the changeable heads, let's go ahead and unwrap the roaring, the Rick Boy head, and take a look at that. We're going to keep it kind of at a respectable distance from the camera, like more like if it was on your bookshelf length right now. But if you wait till the end of the video, I'm going to do a close-up of the entire figure, and I'm going to show different areas of it under the ring light, and you'll see a much better detail. Let's bring it a little closer to the camera. You can see it in indirect lighting. Again, we'll get some close-up under the ring light towards the end of the video so you can see the colors and stuff pop better. We all know X Plus does a fantastic job with detail, but I like how they really do the corner of the mouth here, where like Shin has when you're looking at him in his standard more closed mouth pose, where his like the back corners of his mouth almost go into a frown. They do that really great on the sculpt. It's a perfect job at getting that right. Let's take a look at the tail before I attach it and see kind of like what it looks like by itself. With Shin, details are of course pretty important when it comes to the tail, probably more important than most any other Godzilla. So I'm curious and anxious and excited to see how X Plus did this. First thing I note is not only is the color really cool looking, but the curvature of the tail, they pretty much nail. Shin always has something going on with his tail. It's not usually really ever straight or relaxed. So they did a great job with that. And let's look at the tip of the tail, which we all know why with Shin. It's one of those things that you can't help but see. And the paint work here is beautiful. And it'll be easier for you to see once we put it under the ring light and a close-up at the end. But you can kind of see it here in the natural light. And yeah, it's pretty impressive. Time to heat up the tail section and insert the tail piece. Here's the premiere after it visited the salon, and the completed Shin figure in front of us, as you can see with the tail. And you can see, like I was saying, how long the tail is, and if you're a fan of the film or Shin Godzilla, you know that that's accurate to the design. So here's the first look at it. Some X Plus figures, Godzilla figures, will come with a small support stand that usually goes under the tail to help Godzilla stand properly on a flat surface without tipping over or like rocking back on his feet. This tail is so long and acts as a really good counterweight that this one doesn't need that, and it stands just fine without it. I'm not sure many 25 centimeter ones have that anyway, or any of them even do, but I figured I'd mention it. Now let's take Godzilla on his first merry-go-round ride. There really isn't much of a purpose for me doing this outside of I think it looks cool and it's fun. But the practical purpose is to really show you how it looks from a little bit of a distance with light hitting it at different angles. Now let's take a little bit of a deeper dive on this figure up close and check out some of the finer details. Again, at the end, we're going to show it under the light, but this time we're going to keep it a little bit more indirect light to kind of see how it looks like to the eye from afar. You'll notice the ridges and rings in his tail I think look really good. Here's the bottom of the feet. Of course, you'll have the Toho Plex X Plus stamp that is located on the bottom of most X Plus figures. Wow, it's hard not to be enamored with how beautiful this sculpt is. Let's do some rough measurements really quick. This is not going to get super in depth, but it will at least give you an idea. Godzilla stands about 10 inches tall on this particular one. And the length is going to be more impressive than many of the 25 cm Daikaiju line, as he comes in right around 22 to 23 inches in length. I'm always fairly enamored with how lightweight these X Plus vinyl molds are, even lighter than their like Sofic, which are usually smaller figures. Yeah, it's this one's pretty substantial though because of the tail, but still relatively light. Let's take a look at the head here a little bit closer, and you'll see the rows of teeth and the rigidity of the teeth. And you can also see the detail in the mouth, where you can kind of see where the back piece sort of connects in there to make that beautiful opening in his mouth. Similar connection piece back here, like the tail, you would heat up the neck area, just like you would the body when you're inserting the tail, and then put that in. But for now, we're just going to leave the standard head on, so we're going to set that back aside. And let's just kind of take it in again. It's a beautiful sculpt. Moving along, here's the aforementioned zoomed in portion of the video. This is directly under the ring light or bright light, so you'll be able to see the skin texture and paint details very well here. Though the throat piece, you can see the seam here pretty obviously under this light and up close. It is not as noticeable from afar if you had it sitting on a shelf, even under lighting. But this is under the bright light, which is only a few inches away from where I'm filming at this point, to show it off really well. There is a slight gap or two in the tail sections. Nothing extremely noticeable, but I do want to mention that if you're up close, you might see a small gap here and there. Absolutely gorgeous paint texture and detail back here on the tip of the tail section. The facial detail and the tail is much more subtle than a lot of Shin toys, but I think it looks really good this way. Again, extremely impressed with X Plus's paint work. It's one of the things they're known best for, and it shows off really well, especially in this Shin sculpt, from pretty much any viewing angle. The skin texture details from even the chest to the hands and arms is so impressive, as well as the paint and the part of the neck that separates or connects to the body. And the little glimmer in his eyes looks so menacing, just like the film. An excellent job by X Plus capturing that properly. Thank you for joining us here at 12 Kaiju today. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a like and a subscribe.